kicks, man.
It feels good to kick. It feels good to punch. It feels good to move. It feels good to do footwork, to box, to sweat. I mean, you can't do a whole lot when you blow your knees out, so it feels great. I'm very thankful to be here right now.
When when an athlete gets an injury, the key is to stay positive and to kind of push all those negative emotions out. I would imagine the journey to just get to this point as one mental, a big one, but also an emotional one. Talk to me about the up and down and to finally get into this place where, it's right there. You see the light, you're going to be healthy finally.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing feeling. Like literally what it's taught me is to enjoy my health, as bad as that sounds, Everybody's like, oh, Dominick's so fragile. He's always getting hurt. It's like, you don't realize that I had 20 fights before this. I was fighting 3 to 5 times a year before all these injuries took place. And then it was just injury, all stacked up in one. My body just had enough. But when you're doing those 3 to 5 fights a year, you are taking for granted that your body is going to get up the next morning and work. And I did that, and I just beat the crap out of myself. And I did it with a good purpose. But, I had to pay that time back now, and my body's been beat up a lot. I train hard, I work hard, I want to win titles a lot, so that's the way I train, and now I get to do that again. I've had to take a break, but now my body hasn't taken the abuse. My brain hasn't taken the abuse for 4 years. While everybody else has been getting beat up, I've been rehabbing and making my mind stronger and more mature, and I just really think that everything landed in the perfect time, at the perfect place for me to come back, be the best ever. And how sad is it that I could be out 4 years and still come back and compete with who thinks they're the greatest in the world? That's his problem.
I was going to get to that. You never lost the title. I know in your eyes you still feel that you're the legitimate champ. When you see the other guys with the belt, do you sit there and be like, you're not the champ, you never beat me?
No, that's the thing, is I really don't look at other people and say that you're not a champion. I look at them as champions. Yeah. I just look at them as not the champion. Look, there's so many people with belts all over the place, but they've never faced the best in the world. I'm pound for pound one of the best in the world, in my opinion. And TJ doesn't know anything about that. He never faced it. The people that he's faced in the top 5, the only 2 that he's ever faced in the top 5 of his whole career, he lost to. Everybody else he beat, they were outside of the top 5, with the exception of Barao, who's a tailor-made punching bag for the style that he learned from me.
Do you feel your division's changed a lot since you last competed? Do you think the fighters have grown, have gotten better, or do you feel that they're barely still catching up to you?
I don't look at myself like I'm just like light years ahead of everybody. My tactics are light years ahead of everybody. That's what people are misunderstanding. The best generals in the world that won the greatest wars, they might have been outnumbered 3 to 1, but the best generals would find a way to win. That's how I conceptualize myself. I'm not a general. I'm not in war. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, and I give nothing but respect to war veterans and people who do that. It's a whole nother game, and it's not a game. But for me, what I'm trying to say is the best generals use tactics to win these wars. And I'm a tactician. I really believe that. I can attack in different ways. I make adjustments where they're needed, and that's what's made me hard to beat. It's not necessarily that I'm the fastest, that I hit the hardest, that I am the most athletic. Those things you might even say aren't there for me. But my tactics will find a way to win every time. I'd like to be an example of how ring rust is something made up in the figment of everybody else's imaginations about the mental weaknesses they have in themselves. Ring rust isn't real, in my opinion. It's just not being ready for the fight. And then these guys lose the fight and they say, well, I didn't fight for a long time, so I'm rusty. Wrong. You didn't prepare for the fight because you didn't fight for a long time, so you lost. Ring rust doesn't exist.
And in terms of the division that you're in, is it more competitive now, do you feel, in your eyes? I know you mentioned you felt your tactics...
There's one person that's more competitive, and that's TJ Dillashaw. And the reason why he's competitive is because he hasn't faced the best in the world yet. He faced a bunch of guys that said they were the best in the world while the best in the world was hurt. Of course he has confidence in himself. Why wouldn't he? He's supposed to. He's supposed to believe he's the best. He just hasn't faced somebody as good as I am yet, and that's the facts. Everybody he trained with at Alpha Male, my style was too much for him. Everybody he's fought, He's got knocked out by John Dotson. That guy was fast and stronger in a weight class below. He got out-decisioned by Austin Sao. The guy switches stance. He throws weird punches. He's hard to take down, and he's got a black belt on the ground. So Austin Sao was a very tough problem for TJ Dillashaw. I'm going to be a huge puzzle that TJ has no answer to.
Is the matchup easier now than it was 4 years ago, or is it harder in your opinion?
You know, the matchup is just the same as it always was. The only difference, I would say, is the amount of confidence that TJ has in himself is a benefit for him. Because, you know, the more you believe in yourself, the more effective you're going to be. He believes in himself, but that's also going to be what creates a bad day for him, too.
What do you make of the gym drama that they're having and a lot of their guys being in the same division?
Yeah, those guys are just real weird. I've always said that. I've always said they're weird how their chemistry is. They're talking about being alpha males, but they won't fight each other. So if you're alpha males and you're all alpha males, well, sooner or later there can only be one. So so I don't get it. And they won't fight each other because they're all brothers. And then TJ leaves and Dwayne Ludwig doesn't like the team, and it's just a mess. I'm glad I'm not involved in it, I'll tell you that. But I will say that the way TJ did things, I think he did what he had to do for himself. But I think Dwayne Ludwig definitely, I listened to some of his interviews, and you know, I kind of see what the issue was, because he makes all the stuff, all the success of TJ, all the success of anybody about him. He makes it about Ludwig. You know, I remember hearing him say, man, Chad could be a world champion right now if he would just listen to me and do this one thing. Faber could be a champion if he would just do this one thing. TJ would do whatever I said, so now he's a champion. Dwayne Ludwig's a little out there. He's a little bit, you know, I think he's like looking at himself and giving himself a little bit more credit than is necessarily due. And I could prove that with the game plan Eric Del Fierro comes up with to beat down TJ Dillashaw. Yeah, anybody who's stuck with me, you'll know that I'm doing this for not just me, but for all of you. You know, to stick with me through this time and believe that I'm going to come back after 4 years. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. It's helped me a lot. And, you know, this win is going to be for everybody who's ever had someone say, you can't do it. That's a plain and simple. If I could represent anything, it'd be that. Because let me tell you, a whole lot of you can't do it has come at me for the past 4 years, and watch me do it.